Facts you didn't know about animals. Love, defense and care for animals must always go hand in hand with ecological awareness and sustainable behavior. The animal kingdom is a whole network to discover, about which you never finish learning. Therefore, we want to share with you some curiosities about fauna. Surely, especially if you are in love with animals in general, or you are particularly interested in certain species, you will already know many of them, but perhaps many others may surprise you. There is such a range of species and there are so many curiosities that we can name, that it is difficult to draw up a short list. However, we have selected the following curiosities of the animal kingdom that will surprise you. Ants don't sleep. Ants are curious insects. They do battles, they can capture other ants, they always live in a community and organize themselves in an amazing way to get their food and build their homes. Without a doubt, they are unstoppable. All this activity is perhaps explained because they are beings incapable of sleeping for a single second. Male seahorses are the ones that have the young. Also called seahorses, this species has the peculiarity that it is the males who bring the young into the world. It is the female who deposits the eggs in a bag inside the male, thus, he generates a kind of placenta and then feeds his children. Elephants can communicate. According to several relatively recent scientific discoveries, elephants are capable of producing infrasonic noises to communicate with others of their species. These sounds are imperceptible to the human ear. Something similar happens with wolves. The leader of a pack can call other wolves that are located more than 20 kilometers and be heard. The koala and his passion for sleeping. The next of the curiosities of the animal world has to do with koalas. Although it is the marmot that gets the fame if we listen to the saying, koalas, that exotic animal from Australia, can sleep about 22 hours a day. Also some male lions sleep more or less the same. Nothing to do with the tireless ants. Bees are very organized and useful. This animal, although it gives us such beneficial things as honey and wax, actually kills more people annually than sharks or lions. However, they are insects with great curiosities. For example, it is a species that lives in society and is impeccably organized, just like the aforementioned ants. Bee societies are arranged hierarchically and each fulfills its mission, depending on its age. The longer the bee, the more responsibility it will have within its hive. For this reason, the youngest clean the cells of the hive. When they exceed 2 weeks, they transport the food. With 5 more days, they become the security agents of the hives, until they reach the oldest ones, who are the ones who pollinate plants. Among other missions, a queen bee can live up to 5 years. The communities are huge, they can have up to 80,000 members. Perhaps this is not one of the most outstanding curiosities of the animal kingdom, but these insects produce a lot of honey, although for this they must be in contact with millions of flowers to make a small amount. Mosquitoes have 47 teeth. It strikes us that an animal of such a tiny size can hold up to 47 teeth in its mouth. Although they are not the same as the mouth parts that humans have, it would rather be correct to call them denticles. These denticles are used by the mosquito to make a hole in the skin and then proceed to suck the blood. Every time you are the victim of a sting from this insect, remember that it is only the females that sting, although they often do so to feed their young. The males are content to feed on the nectar of plants. Bulls are colorblind. The next of the curious facts of the animal kingdom has to do with the bulls. This well-known animal is colorblind. It cannot differentiate colors like us. In reality, there are many animals that see different tones than what humans see. In fact, there is a species of hedgehog that only sees yellow. The lion is very sexually active. It is the animal that has the highest sexual activity in the world. It never gets tired, speaking metaphorically. He can copulate about 100 times a day, and sometimes he does it with the same female. One of the curious facts about animals like lions and lionesses is that they can mate every 10 to 20 minutes a day for 5 to 7 days. Even so, it should be noted that lions can take 6 to 9 cycles to become pregnant. the crocodile can eat once a year. And, for curious animals, there are the crocodiles. It is an animal with a very hard skin, which can live for more than a century and survive eating only once a year. Although they are animals that breathe, they can be submerged in water for at least 2 hours. In addition, we owe them the expression to have crocodile tears, which we use when we want to say that someone cries a lot, but without feeling. This is so because this reptile expels tears continuously for a purely organic reason: they need to moisten their eyes. Giraffes sleep 20 minutes. Another of the curiosities of the animal world is that giraffes, like ants, do not sleep either. Rather, these curious animals do not rest like other animals do, as they can sleep as little as 20 minutes a day. On some occasions, exceptionally, they can accumulate 2 hours of sleep throughout the day, but they do not do it in a continuous way, but rather they take several naps. Specifically, giraffes never go to bed. The snail spends a third of its life sleeping. There is a species of snail that can sleep for up to 3 years and then wake up to continue its life. This is another example of animals that are lazy by nature. In general, we will find more active and awake snails in humid areas because these hermaphrodite beings need humidity to live. Instead, in warm areas, they will spend more time inside their shell. Squids have the biggest eyes. One of the curious facts of the animal kingdom that may surprise you the most is that squids have the largest eyes on the planet. They measure 38 centimeters, and these cephalopods have a highly developed sense of sight.